This is a dating story in light of the manosphere. The standards have gotten so low that when a man treats you more or less decent, he's seen as a hero. At least he sees himself as a hero. Manosphere in, existed in some shape or form before Manosphere became a thing on YouTube or wherever else it exists right now. Men have been sharing with one another how to manipulate and trap women for a while. Um, this is one of the stories, and I have many. This happened to me a while back, and it's echoed for over a decade. We met at a club. Back then, I went to clubs. It was a brief but intense period in my life. Um, he asked me on a date, and in our brief meeting, I thought he was nice, and I said yes, and I suggested a place. It was one of my favorite places in Toronto. He was nice, he was polite, he was gentlemanly, and in general, I had a good time. But I knew he was not a right person for me. I have very strong personality, and he didn't he didn't feel like he could. Honestly, I felt like I had much stronger personality than him. I have this very gentle and soft side, and also sweet voice. I mean, not always, but very often when I meet people, that's the side of me that they see. But I have very strong personality, and I feel the dynamic when I meet the person. And while I was very young, I could already tell that I have like my character is much stronger than his, and also it's just the overall we were not a right match. I have a lot of charisma. I have a lot going on, and not that people have to be identical. It was a no for me. Generally, it was a no for me, and I was a little bit disappointed because every time I go on a date, I hope person would be a good match for me. That's it's always is my hope. I don't like to reject people, and I still don't know to this day what is the right way to reject a person because it doesn't seem there is a way that's accepted better. You disappear. Men don't take the reject. Don't men don't take rejection. No matter what you do, you disappear. You tell them politely. You're firm, or you're try to explain. I don't know. I think the more brief the rejection is, the better. That time I decided to just disappear. So he kept calling. He kept messaging me. I did not respond. I kept going on other dates, and men were horrible. And in the meantime, on the background, he keeps messaging me, he keeps calling me. And one day I got a love letter from him in the email. I personally like emails. And it was very sweet, genuine letter. And I thought, I don't know, maybe I should just get to know him a little bit better, just maybe as a friend. And I ended up responding. And we met, and I did tell him that I wasn't sure if I feel anything more, that anything more than a friendship was possible. And he was happy to see me, and we continued seeing each other. We didn't touch, we didn't kiss, we didn't sleep together. We were more friends. That's how I saw it. When I needed something, he was there to help me. Any occasion, my birthday or anything, there were flowers and all those sweet things. He he did all of those things. He'd never ignore me. I mean, of course, on purpose. That's what I mean. Of course, always there is a situation person is not able to respond or things happen. But in general, he was very gentlemanly. He was a good friend to me, and we went on road trips together. And but still, there was we didn't kiss, we didn't touch. But the more we went on road trips together, and he took me on vacation either once or maybe even twice, because this was going on for a while, probably for a year at least. Um, in US and Canada, it's a custom. Should I say custom? I don't know. Um, unless it's communicated between two people that are dating, that they are dating, you're not dating. And unless there is an offer of dating and acceptance, you are not dating. In Europe, from my understanding, it's a little bit different. I never dated in Europe. Uh, so it's more so if you act like you're dating. But in Canada and US, it's unless you're seeing each other, you are dating, but you're not in a relationship. And during all of this time, my feelings have not changed about him. I still saw him um, as I did not develop any deeper feelings for him, and I would go on an occasional date with others. I did not have a boyfriend on the side or anything like that. Um, not even on the side. I didn't even feel like that would have been even a problem because we were not in a relationship how I saw it. But still, I was not in any other um, relationship, let's say, other than a date here, a date there. Um, and I wasn't even hiding it from him, quite honestly, but didn't advertise either. The more time we spent together, the more I was realizing, as because my feelings are not changing for him, I should probably tell him, and because I see he's probably hoping for more, and I was telling him he would be upset, but with and I tell him I cannot see us being more than friends, and he would be upset, but still going along with everything with the way our relationship was. And at one point, I was living on my own, and at one point I think he felt that I was growing farther away from him. He bought an apartment in the area where I wanted to live, and I told him I wanted to live here in the future, in the near future. And he bought an apartment. He told me it was for me, for us. While I was young and relatively inexperienced, I already had an experience in what comes to real estate, an unfortunate experience with my family, and I had a also boyfriend who changed on me on an instant. So I already knew. So things like, if I'm not your wife, you're not my husband. What I'm saying is I don't want to live with a guy who's not my husband. And an apartment that is not in my name is not my apartment. It was his apartment, but for me to go and live there with him. I'm not saying he was a guy who wanted to take advantage of me, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he was the guy who wanted to take advantage of me. Um, at that point, it did not really matter for me because I knew he was not the person for me. And I was starting to feel the more he was trying to mm, get closer to me, the more I felt I have to get away from him. And one day I told him, let's stop let's stop talking because I can see you're investing in me, and I know I cannot reciprocate, and I can never be more than friends with you. I've done everything that a healthy woman who respects herself and others would do. I felt, what is courtship? Courtship is a when a man creates an opportunity, a person, man creates an opportunity uh, for him to get to know a woman. This is nothing extraordinary, it's nothing special. I feel worthy and deserving of that. I feel worthy and deserving of flowers and gifts and compliments, and a man being gentleman to me. Have men always been like that to me? Has every man been like that to me? No. Men been terrible to me and very rude many times, but I feel um, I deserve all the best things. And when I told him that let's stop seeing each other, there was a lot of drama. He was telling me how um, he could have slept with me, but he didn't. What a hero he was. Other guys would, because there was a lot of opportunities. We went on vacation together. We went on road trips together. Other guys would, but quite honestly, other guys are also in. Some of them are in jail. Like he's a hero for what? Not forcing himself onto me while I was asleep or something like that. That's a this is not norm. This is abnormal. He hasn't done anything out of ordinary for me. He was a good human being to me. That's all. And his um, his his behavior towards me, it shouldn't have been an obligation on my part to accept a relationship further, because for him, if he was telling me that he loved me, but then my company was a should have been a reward for him. What else he wanted? He wanted time for to spend with me, with somebody he loved, and he was creating an opportunity for us to do it, and I was there, so that was his reward. Because this is not a reward he was seeking. He was seeking more. He was seeking for more. He was probably seeking to trap me with his gifts and nice behavior, but it did not trap me. While I do enjoy all of those things, I had to be I had to be true to myself. I had to say no, and I will say that after that, I've been single. I For a while, and it's been difficult for me on my own. Of course, my life would have been much easier had I lived with him, but thank God I didn't. Thank God I didn't. And after that, he was very bitter, and there was a lot of drama. And he got a stand-in or placeholder girlfriend, and she got in touch with me later on. So with her, he used a very different strategy. He used jealousy. He talked very often about me. He told her that I supposedly lived with him, which was not true. I never lived with him. I So he told her a bunch of nonsense, and he also made her think that we were sleeping together, which hasn't happened even it hasn't happened once. So he created this story for her to make her jealous, to make her try harder for him to commit to him. And they lived together for 6 years, and then he got rid of her. And standards have been getting lower and lower and lower. This dating website gives so much access to uh, men with low effort, but low effort is not really that. Low effort is okay. There is all kinds of wicked people on dating websites, and the less you accept, the less you will get. And the only way to um, I can say stop it from happening. It's never going to stop. To reduce, to minimize the impact is just not participating. It's just not participating in the short-term dating. Not participate in this dating websites unless you are really trying to date someone who lives on the other side of the world. I don't know. Those I tried multiple dating website over the years, but very briefly, and for me it was a horrible experience. And during those times, when people around me that knew me knew about him, and they were telling me, "Oh, you will regret," and he was telling me, and other people were telling me, "You will regret. You'll never meet anybody who'll treat you like he is." I regret what I would regret, that I'm not with the guy I'm not attracted to, that I'm not with the guy that I don't love. So he would get to be with the woman he wants to be, and I would be with the guy who gets me a bag occasionally. I don't even remember if he ever got me a bag. Maybe he did. I mean, he got me gifts, so it really doesn't matter. And I met men who treated me well and not. And I don't know, is it 50-50? I don't know. I met all kinds of men, but I was true to myself. I was free. This is what freedom really is. Because back in the day, women had to get married, they had no choice. But if nowadays we succumb to a pressure but still do the same thing, where's the freedom? The freedom of choice. I don't I don't have to say yes to a guy who just decide he likes me. And I also remember him, every time we would have that conversation, and I tell him, like, I'm not sure you're a right match for me, and he would tell me, give me all the reasons why I don't make sense, because he does this and that, and women like that, and I should like him. I don't know what other women should like, and who likes what. I know how I feel. And if I don't feel it, I don't feel it. All right, this video is getting long. I hope you enjoyed my story.